what's up, race fans? You're watching the LRL, and I'm Lil C, joined here with Big C.
What's up?
And we are on the final round of our quarterfinals for our Tuner Championship.
Gonna be crazy.
Right, and they're gonna be battling to get into the semifinals. It's gonna be just complete chaos out here.
Crazy battles.
Yeah, so you're gonna want to subscribe if you haven't yet.
Yes, if you haven't subscribed, why haven't you subscribed? Just hit the subscribe button. It's right down below.
You're also gonna want to give us a thumbs up.
Yep, that big old thumb right down there. Just click on it real quick. Thank you.
Can you give me a second? And you're also gonna want to share because it's awesome.
Sharing is caring. That's why you do it.
Right. Let's move on to driver introductions.
And on the pole, we got Micah driving his Toyota Truno for Team Genesis. In his qualifying round, he went from last to first, so we know he's a fast driver, so keep an eye on him.
And we got Tubalcane starting second in his Lancia Delta for Team Genesis, and we noticed he was coming up strong in his qualifying round.
And starting third, we got Samson driving his Nissan Skyline GTR for Team Genesis. That's a slick car. Let's see if he can make it into the semifinals.
And we got Deborah all the way in the back, but she's still got a fast car. She's got her Ford Cosworth with her, the team judges, and she was judging the last round, so let's see how she does on this round.
All right, here we go. Lap one, everybody to the starting line. We got Michael and Tubalcane up on front, Samson and Deborah pushing from the back. Let's see who gets down the track first.
Here we go.
It looks like Mike is taking off pretty good, but Tubalcane's trying to keep a little bit of pace with him. Mike oversteers and crashes.
Wow.
Tubalcane, Deborah piles in. Samson, they're just piled. Look at this. And
Whoa.
Samson gets cut off by Tubalcane.
No way. There's
Big
no way
crash. Yeah,
Are you
they just
serious?
will have to go back. Can't wait to see the replay on that one. But Micah was able to obviously keep his car moving, able to bring it home to a nice, easy first place finish on lap one. But man, what a pile up that was coming down Megiddo Straight.
Look at there. I mean, we got to watch this replay because
Yeah,
so
Deborah's
much.
off, Samson's on his hood, Tubal's just pointing at the wall.
Yeah, so Micah gets off to a decent lead here, but oversteers or something gets loose, and then they all start piling in. I mean, you can see Micah cutting off Tubalcane, Deborah trying to go to the inside, Samson's already there, cuts her off.
Nowhere to go.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go, and then Deborah flips over, so does Samson, and Tubalcane is left perpendicular to the corner as Micah's putts into the finish.
All right, we got the drivers back to the top for lap two. Looks like a restart of lap one, but here's a hoping everybody makes it down. Got Mike and Tubal up front, and Deborah and Samson pushing. But man, looks like Tubal's keeping it a little bit closer to Micah coming out of the starting gate. Oh, he's getting a little bump in the bumper and saying, "Hey, I'm right behind you." Oh, and he spins out, but Deborah passes to the inside. But Micah is flying down this track. I tell you what, I think he's got a little nitrous hidden in the bottle there. I don't know who's good. Look how far. And then Deborah gets second. Tubalcane's able to limp it on home for third. I don't see Samson, but I saw him slide down Megiddo Straight, so I think he must have had a problem. Yep, there he is, parked there at the entrance to turn 4, so I guess he wasn't able to get that thing moving.
So let's watch the replay here because a lot's happening. So after they exit turn 3, Tubalcane starts spinning out. Deborah
just misses.
Barely makes it in there. Samson, you can see where he just, he
ran out
wasn't
of steam
able,
there.
yeah. And then you can see Micah just had a little joyride. I mean, I don't know if anybody's going to get him, really.
All right, got the drivers back to the top for lap 3. We got Micah on the front, but Deborah's moved her way up. Let's see if she can do anything with that outside lane, but looks like it's a no. Micah takes off with Tubal pushing. Looks like they're breaking away from Samson and Deborah. I don't know what happened to them. Micah coming out there bouncing off. Tubal's flipped over. No. Samson busting through. Looks like Deborah might have got stuck back there.
Oh, boy.
Micah's doing a little bit of a twirly twirl, and looks like he's slowing down coming out of turn 5. Samson gives him a hit, able to get him across the line. Samson's going to come home second. What a crazy ride that was coming out of turn 3. I saw Tubalcane get flipped up and over. There he is.
Be right.
And unfortunately, Deborah, who had a good last lap, had a bad lap this time.
Absolutely. Coming into this replay, you can see right into turn 3, Micah gets a little squirrely, but that's not the big deal here. You can see that in the background, Tubalcane gets flipped, Samson muscles his way past, and Deborah has absolutely nowhere to go. Then Micah gets squirrely going down Issachar Straight, and Samson gives him just that little bit of help he needs to get across the line in first.
All right, after that crazy turn of events, we got Michael on the pole, Samson outside, Tubal pushing Micah and Deborah out there. It looks like Tubal is giving Micah a nice little shot out of the gate.
Yeah, buddy.
It's a nice distance from Samson and Deborah. I don't even see them in a picture.
Oof.
Looks like Micah's having a little bit of trouble keeping that thing
Oh,
straight
they're
down
swerving.
between the track, but Tubal pulls
Look
up on
out.
the back of him, gives him a shot in
They
the
got
rear
some
trying to
serious
spin
speed.
him. I tell you what, Tubal is giving Micah a reminder he's not the fastest car on the track at the moment, but here comes Samson and Deborah able to be not too far behind, closing in there. But man, Tubal is giving Micah a nice little wake-up call.
Absolutely, and you can see here coming down out on the backstretch, Micah gets a little loose, Tubal comes up and smacks him, and then going down Megiddo straight. Micah bobs and weaves, but Tubal keeps it straight, and here coming down Issachar straight is when it gets crazy.
Look at that.
Yeah, he gets loose, Micah blocks out Tubal Cain, and then Deborah and Samson are bringing up the rear.
Almost down to the end. Here we are, lap 5. Tubal Cain's pulled up on the outside of Micah to see if he can keep that thing going fast, because he's about the only one that seems to be keeping close.
Absolutely.
Looks like Micah gets the breakaway, gets a little bit
Here
away
we
from Tubal.
go.
Coming down the backstretch, he's still having trouble keeping it on
Micah
the
gets
inside.
sideways.
Tubal
Ooh.
spins him up on the side of the door. Tubal spins out
Oh.
sideways. Micah and Deborah slam into
Is
each
Samson
other.
coming?
I don't see Samson,
yeah, I
but
don't
man,
think
looks
so.
like they
Oh,
parked.
yeah.
He got rolled over in turn 3. Man, I hate that it didn't finish out very good on that one.
You can see on the replay here, Micah's pretty good. Tubal Cain's starting to catch up, but Micah completely loses all control, gets sideways, flips over. Deborah gives him a little nudge and actually flips him back over, but Tubal Cain loses control. Probably the oil from McNamara still, but you know.
Still blaming McNamara.
Yeah, I mean, they're just parked and it's all over.
Well, after that crazy turnout, let's see if these guys can get, and girls can get down the track in a nice straight fashion. Tubal and Micah up on the front. Let's see if Tubal can handle him a little bit better this time.
I think he can.
Looks like Micah gets a nice little gap. I'll tell you what, he's got a good takeoff, but Tubal, once he gets wound up, pulls right up on the back of him. Bounces around. Samson and Deborah having fun back there, but Micah, I think when he can keep that thing straight, man, he just pulls away easily.
I can't believe that.
And then there goes Tubal Cain and Deborah. Samson bringing up the rear.
Yeah, and that was such a awesome lap. I can't wait to see how the last lap's going to be like. Let's get to it.
All right, made it here. Last lap. Let's see if anybody can give Micah any challenge. Tubal's on the outside with Deborah pushing Micah. Samson pushing Tubal. Here we go. Let's get it done. Looks like Deborah pulls actually a little bit on the inside of Tubal. Is he going to be able to keep second?
I don't
Looks like
think
he
so.
cuts down. And then he closes in on Micah.
Wow.
Look at that, beating on the back.
Uh-oh.
Deborah slams
Ooh.
sideways and gets slammed into, but Tubal is pushing Micah, trying to get him straight, but I tell you what,
No
he figured it out.
competition.
It's going to be an easy one with Micah and Tubal. They're going to be moving on, and here comes
Wow.
Deborah. Apparently, she was able to get moving and get back down the track.
Just barely.
But unfortunately, she won't be going anywhere, and I'm assuming Samson must have gotten stuck over on Megiddo straightaway
Yeah.
after getting slammed into.
Let's take a look at this replay because there's definitely a lot that happens on this final lap. You can see right here, Micah is completely pulling away from him, and Deborah just barely gets closed out by Tubal Cain. And
Look at that
coming
power
up,
move.
Yeah, look at that. Tubal Cain is up there with Micah as Deborah is spinning out, and then
This
Samson
gets
has nowhere to go.
slammed
He
into
tries
by
to turn at the
Samson.
last second, but not gonna happen. You can see Micah and Tubal Cain just having a joyride here.
I don't know, like Tubal was trying to hammer in his bumper.
I think so, because Micah takes it without much of a competition. Tubal Cain second.
Man, that was a crazy race, but it looks like here's your winners. You got Micah and Tubal Cain going to be moving on to the semifinals. They're going to be going against that Fast Adam and Caleb. And on the other side, we got Luke, John, Peter, and Job getting ready to get down to the finals.
Yep. So you're going to want to get the notification bell for when we upload that video. Stick around for it. God bless.